Hi guys, welcome to the Golden Cruiser. I'm Cindy, and today we're going to be talking about some free things that you can get on a cruise ship that the cruise lines won't tell you. So in this video, I'm going to go over a few things that cruise ships don't tell you about that you would be able to get free on a cruise ship that you might not know about. So grab your favorite drink and a snack, sit back and relax, and let's talk about cruising. Number one is unlimited filtered water. Now, a lot of new cruisers, or even some that have cruised before, don't realize that they could save up to $200 or more for a family on a cruise just in water. The cruise ships will push things like get the drink packages or buy the bottled water, and a lot of cruisers think they can only pay for bottled water on board and that there's no water available. Well, the cruise ship does have sophisticated water filtration systems on board that filters their water, and there are water stations throughout the cruise ships, usually in the buffet area, cafes. You can get it in the dining room. Usually all the food venues will have water stations. Some have bottle fill stations. We always take our aluminum bottles with us when we travel. That way on the cruise ship, because usually we don't ever buy the drink package, we can refill our water bottles throughout the day and take it back to the room in the evening, and you can always have water. I don't notice a bad taste in the water. It tastes fine. Like I said, it's filtered through the ship's water system. It is totally safe to drink. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting the tap water from your cabin because I have heard that that could upset some people's stomachs because it sits in the pipes longer there. So don't drink the water out of your cabin. I mean, it won't make you bad sick, but I have heard that it has upset some people's stomachs. So don't drink that from your cabin faucet, but get the filtered water that's in the stations around the ship rather than paying for the expensive drink package or bottled water. Now, if you've already got the drink package and it's included in that, then get the bottled water. Number two is professional babysitting services. Now, everybody probably knows about the kids clubs they have. From little toddlers, you have to be able to have your child out of diapers, potty trained before they can go to these children's clubs. And then they're by age groups, all the way up to 17 years old. So from little toddlers, I don't know, 6 months on up, I think, your children can go to the children's centers during the day. But on some ships, if your child is attending the daytime child care sessions, they can actually use a free babysitting service at night. Now, this is certain cruise lines, and your children have to participate in the children's clubs. And then evening care is complimentary depending on the cruise line, and usually they will only watch your child till about 10 or 11 at night. So you need to check with your cruise line if they offer this service. Some I know do charge in the evening, but others are totally free. So sign up early if you're wanting to have a babysitter in the evening. Now know that this isn't going to be late into the evening, 10 or 11, but still gives you more time if you wanted to go out and do something. So sign up early for this because slots are really limited. Just call the cruise line and they'll let you know all the details. Number three, complimentary room service during specific times. Now, a lot of people think all the room service is free on a cruise ship, especially maybe new cruisers that haven't cruised, because it used to be. When I used to sail, anything you wanted on room service was free. We would just hand a tip to them when they came to the door, and everything was free 24 hours a day. Well, that's different now. Usually now they have a one-time service fee or a fee on every food that you buy, like maybe $5 per plate of food that you're buying. So they all have different fees except for the continental breakfast, which is usually free on every ship. Now the continental breakfast is things like coffee, tea, fruit, pastries, your basic breakfast thing like that. If you want something like eggs, bacon, sausage, you would have to pay extra for that. But there are some ships that have a secret menu I've heard about, and they have certain foods on there that you can get free that they don't publicize. And some of these foods are for passengers that maybe aren't feeling well or they have seasickness. You can actually get some free soup, some free tea, and things like that. So all you have to do is call the room service. The number will be right there in your cabin, and ask them about free options when you call them, and see if there is that menu where you have items you can get that there's no cost for. Now, some ships do have items they don't charge for. I know I'm getting ready to go on Princess, and I know they have some items, but other cruise ships charge you for everything except for the continental breakfast. So just check with room service and see if there are some free options, and you might be surprised. Number 4, unlimited use of sports equipment. Now, most all cruise ships have sports areas like basketball courts, pickleball, tennis. I mean, it goes on and on. Golf simulators, mini golf, and such. But a lot of times people go and see that they have those, but they don't see any balls or equipment to get. It's not like right there on the deck. Well, you do have to just ask a deck crew that would be working in the sports court for these balls or what other items you need. Like if you're going to play mini golf, if they're not readily out there, there will be a crew member to ask. And if you can't find a crew member, just ask guest services, and they will, let you know where these balls are at, because they're somewhere in the facility there. You just have to ask someone. And then if you're on a ship that has the sports things like the skydiving simulators or the surf simulators and things like that, just know that normally on port days, those are totally free. And when you're out to sea, you have to pay for them. So make sure and book these early, because they do sell out. I know my son and granddaughter on our last cruise, they did the skydiving simulator on Anthem of the Seas, and they loved it. They said it was the best thing ever. We did it after going out in the port for a short while, came back to the ship, and they were able to do that. But you need to book ahead of time. So there are a lot of sports activities going on around the ship. So just ask for the balls if you're looking for something like that, like a basketball or, even to play shuffleboard or something. Just ask. They'll be there on the deck. Number 5, educational lectures and classes. Now, many ships feature guest lecturers or educational workshops. You can attend lectures with people that specialize in marine biology, historians, wine experts, travel writers. It's just endless what the ship could have on board. And they aren't brief presentations. They're usually about hour sessions with expert level content that you would pay premium prices for if you were on land and going to attend one of these. They also have things like cooking demonstrations, dance lessons, computer workshops, etc., depending on the cruise line and what ship. So check in your daily planner. If you see some of these activities, book them early because they could be gone. But just know that they do have these on board. Number 6 is extensive library and reading services. Now, most cruise ships still have libraries on them. Some of them have taken some of the libraries away, faded them out, because you don't see that many people in a library anymore. And when I do see people there, they're playing the board games that are in there. But libraries on ships have thousands of books, newspapers, and magazines that you can check out and just sit there and read, take with you to your room. And some even have digital media depending on the cruise lines. And then they have the board games also. Number 7, wellness and medical consultations. Now this one surprised me, because usually the medical centers on board charge an arm and a leg to just, go there and maybe get cold medicine or something. You're going to pay a lot of money. That's why you want to take out travel insurance. Don't forget travel insurance. That's another story. But um, some cruise lines will actually give you free blood pressure checks if you're thinking your blood pressure is high and you need to have that checked. And they'll give you free basic health consultations and wellness advice. Usually these are like 15-minute consultations if you had a question or concerned about a certain issue. It's not going to be a treatment. If they have to treat you, they are going to charge you. But a lot of them have nurse practitioners that will sit there and give you a short consultation, and maybe, you have something wrong, you're not feeling that good, and you just wanted to ask a question about it. You can normally get that for free, but you would need to call the medical center. It will be there on your phone number in your cabin. You can call and ask them specifically if they offer complimentary wellness services versus paid medical treatment. Just let them know you don't want a treatment, you just want to talk to them about it, and they'll let you know if they offer that service. Number 8 is personalized concierge and planning services. Now, cruise lines have guest services staff who actually function as personal concierges, but most passengers only use them for basic questions. However, they can help you with free trip planning, reservation assistance, and personalized services that would cost hundreds at a resort. They can help with restaurant reservations, arrange special celebrations that you might be having, and provide detailed port information and recommendations. So just go to guest services and they can help you with all that. A lot of people didn't know that. Number 9, access to hidden ship areas. Now, this is one of the things most passengers don't know about. Most cruise ships do offer behind-the-scenes tours. Now, sometimes you will have to pay for these tours, like you might take a tour of the bridge or behind the scenes at the buffet, the restaurant where they cook the food. You just need to ask guest services if there's any behind-the-scenes tours that are free instead of paying for. Some cruise lines do these tours, but others you pay for. Like I said, some aren't advertised very much and some are. You might see them in the daily planner. When you can take a ship tour, you need to book them very early because they will book out right away. But just go to guest services and ask them if there's any of these free tours available. I know of people that have been able to do the restaurant, the behind the scenes kitchen area tours for free. You just have to check and book up very quickly. And then we have free drinks. Now, some new passengers and even some that have sailed before that don't know there are free various drinks around the ships. Now, drinks such as lemonade, iced tea, fruit juices, coffees. This is regular coffee, decaf coffee, not your specialty coffees. Hot teas and water are available without a fee around the ship. You can get them in buffets, cafes, the dining room. We never usually buy the drink package because I only drink water and iced tea, and my son and granddaughter get by with lemonade. And so that's what we have at dinner time. You can also bring on, your 12-pack of soda, usually per person, per adult on the ship, and your free bottle of wine. So that's something you can have too. Also around the ship, if you're looking at alcohol that you can get for free, usually there's champagne that you can get for free if you go to the art auction, but that's okay. You can sit there and drink the whole time you're watching the beautiful art, or the captain's reception, or various other areas. And sometimes at bars where they're doing demonstrations of how to make certain drinks, they will give you free drinks there to sample what they are making, in the recipe. So there's ways to get free drinks on the ship without purchasing the drink package. Now, if you want sodas and stuff, you would either have to pay for those on board or bring those on board with you. Like I said, you can bring a 12-pack of cans per adult. I think it's per adult. And have those in your cabin for you so you don't need to pay for those. So there's some things that maybe people didn't know about that were actually free on a cruise ship, especially new cruisers. They really don't know what to expect when they get on a cruise ship. Sometimes they might think that everything is free and that they're going to have their soft drinks, their sodas for free, and they're not. You're going to have to pay for those unless you took the drink package or brought yours on board. Some cruise ships, you can order some to be delivered to the room, but you will pay a lot of money for that. You will pay a lot to have water delivered to your room in bottles. I know on our Princess cruise, for a 12 pack, it was $24 that I would have to pay, but I ended up getting the drink package, so we don't have to pay for that. So there's some. Does anybody else have any ideas about free drinks you can get or free drinks that you've gotten on a cruise ship? I'd like to hear that in the comments below. So I want to thank you for stopping by today. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me grow. So thanks again for stopping by, and I hope to see you again on my channel, The Golden Cruiser. Bye for now and have a wonderful day.